everybody, the Skeet
It's Masha and Mikey.
Rock and Roll Roundtable.
Yeah, our good friends at Moshman Media presenting another episode for you today.
This week, new album reviews.
Yeah, new album reviews. And when we talked about doing, I brought up the subject of doing a new album review because we haven't really done a lot of new ones. And we said, it'd be interesting to do two female fronted bands anyway. And I had a band I picked. Skeeter had a band he picked. And when I listened to both of these albums, the opposite couldn't be more polar, man. There's complete opposite directions for me,
Okay.
but they're both good. I mean, they're both solid albums, and we'll talk about that. But
Okay.
yeah, they're different ends of the spectrum of rock music for sure.
Okay.
And but that's what makes it interesting. You listen to a heavier, and you listen to a more melodic, and that's where we come in. And the first album we chose was the latest album from Hailstorm called Everest. And I had recently just saw Hailstorm for the fourth time in concert. And this is the tour that they're on. They're calling it the Never Rest, but they're Everest is the album.
Yeah. That was actually kind of cool. I saw that today. I went,
yeah,
oh, nice. Yeah. Never rest.
Yeah, as great as they are in concert, and it's like, this might be the first time I've ever sat down and listened to an entire Hailstorm album, front to back. So I know it's different. You hadn't heard Hailstorm's album either, and it's like we'll jump into it. The first song on the album, I'm not a big fan of that. It comes out. The song is called "Fallen Star." It's just okay. I mean, it's like, okay, that's not the banger I expect right off the bat, but it was still good. I mean, there's not a shitty song on either one of these albums. I'll just say that now. But for that one, it's just it's a solid 7 on there. It's really, but yeah. What do you think of the first Hailstorm opener there?
Yeah, that was. I'll agree with you on that one. That was. It was okay. I kind of. I expected a little bit more, so now I'm gonna have to go back and listen to a couple more Hailstorm albums to kind of get a feel of what they've done through their career. I mean, she is an excellent vocalist to start off. So I was expecting a little bit more edge from this band.
Yeah.
So
coming out of the gate, I thought so. I thought, man, that's not the greatest album starter. But when we get into the title track, it's a mellower song, yes, but man, does she belt it out.
Yes.
That to me makes the whole song. Just her vocals. But it's got a nice enough hook to it. And when she says the words Everest, it's like it blow your head off if you're listening to it on the headphones. It's like, wow, she's killing it. And I mean, and I had just seen her do it a couple weeks back, and it was like, man, that sounds just like it. Props on that. I like that song a lot. I really do. Wasn't thrashing out of the gate or nothing, but it was a nice, not a really, it was like a semi ballad. Really wasn't a ballad. It was kind of, sort of, but it was more subdued on the album maybe than it was live. It seemed heavier live. It seemed like more intense. So yeah, it's solid though. That was a above average song on the Everest. Did you listen to? I mean, did you just want to go through them, or do you want to go like just talk about the album? How we want to proceed?
I I mean,
But I mean,
we could go down to tracks. I mean, I listened to it
all
like
right,
twice through to give it a good
yeah,
listen.
that's what I did as well.
So I mean, there was high points for me. So when we get to them, I'll let you know what I thought was the high points of the
Okay,
album.
yeah,
So yeah, Shiver was
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I liked it a lot. I did like Shiver. More than like Fallen Star, but not quite as much as Everest, probably. So
Yeah,
if Fallen Star was a 7, I would have gave Everest like a 9 and put that Shiver at an 8. You know, just it's above average, but it's not quite the Everest type song for me.
okay,
But then, like a woman can, this is something that Lizzie Hale does. She sings a lot of songs about perspective from her, female side. And it gets a little more attitude when she starts talking about things women can do. And it's like women rock, whatever, women general. So I think this one was a little bit more on the heavier side than in spots. It wasn't, none of these are blazing out the gate. But I like this song too. It was it was up there. It was in the 8 category for me. I had no problem with it. It was very cool to watch. Like I said, she played. I think I went through this and she played all but like one or two of these songs. If not all of them, I just didn't know the other. When they played, but pretty sure. I mean, the ones I remember off the show were the ones I highlighted for here. It's like
okay.
those were just badass, and
I,
so yeah,
again, I'm like expecting some banging stuff out of
no,
Lizzie Hale. Again, vocals were good on this one. I liked her vocals on this. I I kind of raised my eyebrows a little bit. Well, what's she trying to say?
yeah,
But it was a good song. It did. There's no. It's like okay, well that was kind of cool, different. Like I said, it
yeah.
was kind of made you go, well, what's she saying? That I was like, okay,
She gets more as far as the album goes. The more that deeper down the list you go, the more intense her lyrics get.
okay,
It's like she's like half the album's kind of for radio play, maybe or something. The other half is not.
yeah,
So when she gets on a roll, that's when she's the best for me.
okay,
But I mean, I did like the song.
okay. Uh, Rain Your Blood on Me. That was kind of cool. I dug that one.
Yeah, it had that like almost hallelujah chorus kind of feel to it, like a church kind of thing at
Yeah,
first.
it was cool. It really showed her vocal skills a little bit more on
Yeah.
this one. So I was like, okay, that one was cool. So that for me was a high point. That
Yeah,
one
well,
stood
that's one
out.
of the high points. Yeah, that's where it started. This is where it kind of, for me, it's where, besides Everest, which I really liked Everest a lot. Besides Everest, the rest of the album is, this is the one that starts kicking in for me as far as the great songs. Because Darkness Always Wins is just phenomenal. That next, it's just, it's not heavy. It's melodic and but when it kicks in, and she belts it out, man, with the best of them.
Yeah,
She had, to me, she might be one of the best female singers in the world right now. It's just, I've never seen her falter. Not any of the times I've seen her on any of the recordings, any videos I've seen of her. I've never heard her voice crack. I mean, she get tired. It was like, I think it was the second or third from last of the tour. She was still, she must take care of her voice because she was still killing it. And she is 40, like 40 years old to boot. So that's a great, Darkness Always Wins is a great song. It was the first single, I think, too.
okay. Yeah, that one was good. Gather the Lambs. I'm trying to remember it for me.
Yeah, it doesn't really like it stand out as much. It's kind of faltering a little bit. This is like the last mediocre song for me, and it was like it's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, it
Uh,
wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was bad, but I was just kind of
right.
like next song on the list.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't real stand. There wasn't anything that really stood out, but it was solid. Again, you know, it's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Like I said, these are. It's not we. You know, we didn't have to go all heavy all the time. This was definitely not a heavy album. More of a live band. They are much better live playing this
okay,
song. It's just the way it is. But then they go into Watch Out. Now she's getting pissed. Watch Out's about the time she's getting pissed. And it's like, this is where I think she thrives.
okay,
Because some of their other hits in the past were like, Love Bites and So Do I, The Misery, and just where she just belted it out and pissed off. This one is back to that. It's more of a angry, violent kind of thing. So I like that one a lot. It's the music's just on point, but it's not. I mean, I think the biggest thing I like about the music of the whole thing is the time changes. They do a lot of time changes. They'll start out slow and then get faster, and then slow back and do like a break, not a breakdown, but like a tempo change. They do that a lot, and it's like that's fine with me, and that's what I really enjoy listening to. Breakdowns are great and all, but man, the tempo changes are where it's at for me. So, Broken Doll was another one of those. It's just I started to uh, get a little feel of redundancy on this one. I'm like,
okay.
okay, you go from Watch Out, which is pretty violent banger, and then you go Broken Dolls, just kind of like probably a very sentimental song, maybe for her.
Okay, so this one stood out for me because of how she was singing it, and it was a nice change up from the other stuff. You know what I'm
That it
saying?
was. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
that
that it
was.
was this spectacular song, but it threw me a curve. I was like going, oh, okay. So it's got a little bit more thought to it and what she's singing about, and I liked it. I mean, her voice on it
Yeah,
was excellent. So I was like, that one was a standout for me. I remember that, and I was like, oh, okay, I like that. That was a cool kind of throw you a curve song.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I liked it too. It was like, it's just kind of sounding couple like a couple of the other songs at first, and then it kind of just doesn't do much changing in it, which is, their style's their style. I get it. I guess I was just hoping for this monumental, epic thing instead of just a great album. I don't know what I was expecting. Hey, coming off of a live show though, when you see all these, you always think it's going to be more. But she goes into Killing after that. Well, they do, and spells that out. She was all over the place what doing that, but she gets into this song. Yeah, the whole spelling out the KILLING thing, and it's like, okay, that's my pissed off Lizzie Hale that I like. That's
Yeah.
the angst, the anger. So I dug that song again. It was like going back from an eight to another nine. It's like she's bouncing eight, nine, all the way through this thing. And then
That was another standout. I did like that. So I could see this one. They are doing this one they had to do this one in concert, didn't they?
oh, she did. Oh yeah, they
To
did.
kind of get the crowd into it. And I caught what you're saying about the kind of angry, and it was so it kind of brought back
Yeah,
That angsty type fucking thing where you're like, okay, I can see this, I can see this. That one stood out for me as well. So I
now
like that one. That was kind of catchy.
I think this is one that she actually broke away from the guitar. So
Okay,
she went off around walking around the stage, getting down to people, and she didn't do that a lot. She's usually at the piano or the playing guitar when she's singing, but she got out for this one, so that was
okay,
a memorable section. But here comes the next song. This is my favorite on the album. I love that song. I gave
nice.
you everything.
Yeah,
It's just fucking pissed off. You fucked me again, said, I gave you everything, but you fucked me again. It's just straight up saying it too.
yeah.
You fucking fucked me again, man. And it was like, this was the next to last song. So it was like when I seen them, and it's like I had never heard it. I was like, wow, that's fucking some pissed off right there. I like that. So, but the song itself was great anyway. But her vocals just kind of extend on that one. This would be my 10 for the album,
Okay.
just because of the overall work of it. But I mean, there's a lot of them I could throw. Darkness Always Wins is fucking great. I like. I mean, there's not a bad song. It's just not a bad song. Now, the last song is like I could live or without it. It really was too mellow for me, kind of. After I gave you everything, it's like kind of a letdown to end out.
They should have flip flopped those two.
Yeah, yeah. I think if I gave you everything was last, that would have just made me remember that album forever. Just because that's just pure blood. Somebody did something to her that was fucking
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
and whoa, she's letting them have it, man. It's like that song's just badass. That's like my new favorite Hailstorm, I think.
Oh, nice.
Besides Everest. Everest is really growing on me. I've listened to this album today. I listened to it for the third time,
Okay.
and that Everest is just so clean, man. So I'm going to call a three-way tie with Everest. Darkness never always wins, and I gave you everything. But if I had to pick one winner out of the album, it's gotta be I gave you everything, just because of the angst and the anger.
Nice. Ah, again, how will you remember me? I thought that was a really good fucking song. I mean, just flat
Oh yeah,
out,
yeah,
that's a really good fucking song. And yes, it was kind of, why did you end it on this? Maybe it was she was going for a sentimental feel when she was picking the
could
tracks.
be. This whole
And
album has that feel. It really does. Like it's a
it really was up
sentimental.
and down. It really had you up and down. So there was a lot of if you go by feeling, it was kind of a roller coaster for me
Yeah, yeah.
because
I felt that.
I was expecting something, and a couple times I was pleasantly surprised. A couple times I was like, well, it's a good song, but goddamn, I kind of was. I guess I was
Yeah,
wanting the live feeling that you got from the show that it just doesn't
yeah. It
transfer
doesn't
on
transmit.
album.
Yeah, that's very true. And I'm being as biased because I had just seen, and I've seen her so many
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
Phenomenal performer. The band is great. Her brother plays drums, and it's like he plays one solo with these gigantic drumsticks. It's just awesome to watch. But no, that album, I mean, it's a solid B plus for me. It's just
okay,
it didn't quite make a A. If a couple of the songs would have been a little, maybe add a couple bangers in there next
yeah.
time, a couple more. But Hailstorm fans are gonna love it. I mean, Lizzie Hale's just fucking phenomenal to boot. And songwriting was great. Songs were good. Just yeah, B plus. That ain't nothing to sneer
No,
at.
so definitely go out and check out Hailstorm's new album, Everest.
Yep, yep. Download that baby. It's good stuff.
So now,
Yep, I gotta switch
yeah,
over here.
let's see here.
Switch over. Inquisition.
Burn Burning Witches, Inquisition, just fucking dropped. What was it this week? Just last week?
22nd of August. So at the
Okay,
time
so
of
we're a week.
taping this, yeah,
We're a
we're
week.
taping it. Yeah, it's a week.
So, uh, Burning Witches is one of my newer bands that I really took a shine to. They've released 3 or 4 songs before they dropped the fucking album. And there was a couple songs when I heard them as singles that I was kind of like, it's okay. I was expecting a little bit more. But man, when I listened to the album from start to finish, it made a lot more sense, and it kind of bumped up the fucking songs for me. So where I
Okay.
thought when I heard them as singles, I was like, eh, eh. But the fucking flow of these songs, I think they put them in. They put every one of them in a good spot. That's the only way I
Okay.
can describe it. So that kind of boosted up this fucking album for me. So before, when it was singles, it wasn't as powerful. But when you threw them all in the order they've got them in for this album, I was like, okay, now I got it. Because some of the down pace songs in this, where they put them and how they translated from just being a single into the album, it made sense.
Okay. I never heard of the singles, so I
Okay,
can't
so for me,
relate.
it was they were kind of releasing boom, and then a month later, boom, and then, you know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
kind of get you spaced out. So it's kind of deceiving when you hear some of the songs as singles, because it was like, I really liked one. I was kind of like, it was the next one they released was mid, and then I liked it. So it was like, I was all over the place with that, going, ah,
Yeah.
because I really liked the album before that. Okay,
Okay.
a lot. So I really listened the fuck out of that album. But then when we come to the new one, Inquisition, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. So
Yeah, I
uh
didn't either.
you got the intro, which was kind of cool. Uh Soul Eater for me, which is the actual first song on the album, because the first one was kind of an intro. Sanguini, Hominum, with the,
Yeah.
you got,
Oh, the talking and yeah,
okay, but that fucking
yeah,
Soul Eater dude was fucking badass for me. It was like, nice way to fucking actually hit that first fucking song. As far
yeah.
as lyrics, it got a little repetitive, but it was cool. Everything that was going on with the music and the guitars and shit, I was like, all right, cool. So give me your take, because I know you're not a huge Burning Witches fan.
No,
I,
I mean, I honestly have not heard a lot of them. I just haven't heard anything much about them. I heard a couple songs here and there. And that first song, I did not like the first song.
which
And the
one?
rest,
That
Soul
it?
Eater.
Okay,
Yeah, I
you
did.
didn't like it.
Well, here's the thing with it. The music was like a wall of galloping thunder coming through you. That's kind of cool. That's a power metal staple, which they are.
Yes.
But the vocals just that screeching, the high end stuff just didn't mix with me on the first song. And as we go down, I like most of the vocals when they're backing vocals with it. Just the singer by herself, I'm not a fan.
Okay.
But when they have the backing vocals, it seems like it pops it up.
Okay.
And this song here, I think it was just too much for me. not like too heavy or nothing. Just there was chaos, and
Okay.
it's like okay, I want to kind of hear and I guess being not a big time listener to the band, I wanted to kind of hear what they were about.
Okay.
Well, it comes later, so that's a
Okay.
good thing.
Okay.
It's just both albums had kind of a subpar first song for me. That's all.
Okay. No problem. Uh, then we go to Shame, which
Yeah, that
was
was
it was
yeah,
cool, but it wasn't like smack you in the face and fucking beat you up
no,
and fucking. But it was a cool song. I liked it. So for
it
me, it was
was
like that
yeah,
first one was kind of bam, smack you, and this one's kind of okay, take you back a little bit. Still rocked. Still was good. So what'd you
yeah.
think?
I thought it put me in the mind. Okay, I said, okay, this is an identity song for me. They're power metal European because that shame, this chanting and stuff, that to me reminds me of the power metal from Europe, and it's like it perfectly fits what their moniker is, what they're about. And it was a good. I mean, it was a good song. It wasn't so much chaotic. It was more subdued, but it was still enough to keep attention. I mean, I like that song. So it's like the rest, the rest of the songs on here, I'm gonna have good reviews. It's just the first one, but yeah, that song
Okay.
was good. It was definitely good. Yeah, the spell of the skull. Okay, here's where I felt like anyway. The Iron Maiden influence was heavy,
Okay.
super
And
heavy.
why is that?
For galloping, it's
Well,
always the galloping.
and why else is that?
Oh, because of Courtney. Yeah. Yeah, it's that Courtney's got that style, and there's what two guitar players, so it's not just Courtney, but the soloing is definitely Iron Maiden City, man. It's like Iron Maiden could have wrote some of them solos, but Courtney's just that good that she could do Iron Maiden type solos, and her counterpart, I don't know if she plays solos or not, but she's holding it down whether or not she's playing the solos or not, but Courtney, yeah, yeah, we saw her with Iron Maidens, and you saw her with Burning Witches. She's just phenomenal.
Yes.
And I guess it kind of sucks for them for America because Courtney's like the one everybody recognizes. But over in Europe, Courtney's probably she's the noob. So
Yeah.
it just depends on where you're at. But yeah, the spell of the skull remind you is like that's a Courtney staple song. It wasn't no
Yeah.
doubt about that. I did like it. I didn't have any, there wasn't no flaws to it. It was just reminiscent of Iron Maiden. It didn't go over the line to me.
Okay.
It still had their own identity to it. Yeah.
For me, that was one that had gotten released, and I thought it was good, but it's still not the best from them.
Yeah.
So for me, it was good. And again, Courtney Cox, dude, I love that they
Yeah.
added her on the Dark Tower, which was the album before that. I really liked it that they brought her in on that album, and it seemed like she kind of felt a little bit more comfortable playing on this one. So she kind of found her role as not happen to be a gunslinger, but she got a little bit more of her voice as a guitar player on this one.
Yeah, and I think the production leans heavily. It seems like it, from what I'd heard in the past. Maybe I'm wrong because I haven't heard a lot, but it almost seemed like they went more. I don't want to say copying or nothing, but more brought out the guitars had that sound. It had the Iron Maiden sound, but also had their own signature to it. So Production could have played a part
Could have
in
been.
some of this. I'm not sure, but Inquisition's next.
Yeah.
This one was like, I don't know. It felt a little Broadway to me at times. It just felt like, it wasn't like it wasn't a bad song. It was just felt like almost like I was watching a musical.
Okay.
Kind of
All
would put
right.
me in the mind of that. The album would probably be a hell of a musical, to be honest. I mean, it's got everything you want in it, and
Yeah.
it's like they're talking about subject matter and all that. So it's not a bad song. It's just kind of like I would call this a filler, a solid filler.
Okay.
And it's weird that they put the title track that far down in, but some bands do that. It's not always first or last. Like even Hailstorms was not first. So it's just weird. It's like what, fifth?
Yes.
Sometimes you see that though. It must tell a story. Now I'd be interested to know if this is some kind of a story concept or something. If we ever knew that, but yeah, it was a weird spot, but it's a good song.
Okay. Uh, High Priestess of the Night. That's a pretty solid song.
That's the first one. I mean, I listened. I liked a couple of the other ones, but this song is the one that got my attention. Yeah, it was
Okay.
like okay, that the vocals seem better. Something
Okay.
about them. Just I had problem with the just the solo vocals, but this song sounds a little better. I still love their harmonies. The harmonies make the band. The harmonies, the guitars, and just the when you get into the galloping wall of sound coming at you, those kind of make up the band to me. And it doesn't matter to me when I'm listening if they're women or not, because
Yeah.
I really wasn't. I knew who they were, but it's like I was just listening music wise. It's like that's just as solid as anybody else in the world could do. So, but this song was one that I was like, okay, we're gonna finish the album out banging, and that's what I like. It wasn't like over the top. It was very, very solid. Good pick for a single. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, Twisted Sister fans would love this, right?
Yeah.
Burn in Hell. Again, it's like we all have. I don't think they had as much a stick on this one. It's a dark album. Just think a dark, Inquisition. We know what that's about. Burning in Hell is not no fun. When you're a high priestess, it's like. But Burning Hell, the song was like again, it's rattling off eights. It was like it was good, but it didn't like oh man, that was badass there. It was just like, yeah, it was still cool. Tempo changes. These guys are a tempo changing band too, which I enjoy. So yeah, there's not like going crazy breakdowns in these songs. But man, they got the right tempo changes at the right time. So yeah, it's another good song, dude.
Pretty much. For me, the whole fucking album, their rhythm section just fucking knocks it out of the park for the whole album
Yeah, I
because
agree with that.
there was a lot of songs, and again, this was like the second time going through it, and I had already heard a lot of the singles. Uh, Later on, we got the Mirror Mirror. That was cool, and it felt different. So for me, a lot of these other songs down in here, Release Me, In for the Kill. I, I'm with you with the vocals. I mean, Laura Goldemon, she's she can sing her ass off. She hits a lot of highs. They do a lot of doubling of the vocals in this
Yeah.
album to where she's really doing the high stuff, and I like it where she doubles them up. But I'm kind of with you on getting because Courtney does a lot of background vocals live, so
Yeah.
she's doing a lot of vocals. and the rhythm guitar player Romana, she's excellent. She founded the band. Okay, so
Yeah.
she's like the one of the founding members of the band. So you mix all that up, and it's like kind of like a fucking wall of sound. So
It
their
is.
bass
That's
player, she's
a good
solid,
wall.
and you
Yeah.
and her a lot of her bass lines do fucking stick out. So where you said a lot of the production on this one, it's almost an upgrade from Dark Tower. Not that I really like Dark Tower. So for me, it was kind of like it wasn't a continuation, but it was kind of an upgrade. But they really paced this fucking album out.
I can agree with that. I mean, just from what I know, very limited access. I really liked "Release Me." I think
Okay,
it as a pure ballad, but it's like,
yeah,
man, that was a great song. I think the only other one that I mean, "Mirror Mirror" was a good way to end it because you had the outro.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, there wasn't a bad song on here. Like I said, there was a couple that stood out to me. Shame was very good. High Priestess was very good, and definitely "Release Me," even though it's a ballad. Uh, you know, they're a weird band for me because I'm not a big power metal guy, but I like Iron Maiden, so it's kind of like they're leaning towards Iron Maiden, but they got the European feel to them. But for not knowing them and just listening to the whole album for the two and a half times, I didn't almost got through the third time. But just hearing that, man, they're a solid B for me. It's
okay,
just I would like to, you know, here, well, I might have to go back and listen to more of their stuff just to get me more acquainted. But yeah, they're solid. They're a B. They're not a B minus. They're not quite a B plus, but they're a solid B. And if I seen them in concert, yeah, that might enhance my thought process. But Courtney Cox is hot in every category, looks and guitar playing. So, but she's not the whole band. The whole band's solid. They wall of sound's a good thing. It's just when you're not. I guess I just not versed enough in power metal. I don't listen to it enough to appreciate it all.
yeah.
But it's solid B.
Well, and I've seen him a couple times, and got to meet him. So everyone in the band, they are very fan oriented. Okay,
Cool.
they were all really fucking nice, and you know they're still young, so you can kind of tell that they're still a young band enjoying what they do. They put on a great fucking show. It's not that they do like a bunch of pyro and stuff, but they do have like the backdrops, so they really kind of go into the theatrics without doing the Iron Maiden shtick. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But they do put on a very good show. They're all excellent as far as musicians go. So for me, it was like this is a nice change of pace from my normal '80s and the harder music that I like. They're a great fucking band for me to go. This is someone new. The style's a little bit different, but it's familiar. It's still rock. It's still fucking heavy, and I'm not fucking lying. Their drummer and bass player, they're excellent. They are fucking excellent,
Oh, yeah.
and
You can hear that.
they really got that fucking thump. So they brought that out on this album. I kind of agree with you. The production on this was a little bit more slick, and
Yeah, I thought.
they really kind of highlighted everybody's part. Her bass is not buried at all. There's parts in these songs where you can hear it distinct when she's doing what she's doing. You you can hear them vibing. So that's a high point for me.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
their guitars blend very well, and you could tell when each guitar player is doing what they're doing. So it was a solid album. I would go B plus, almost an A
Fair.
minus. But I like these guys a little bit more than you, and this was kind of your first dipping your toes
Yeah.
in it. So
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, great couple of albums. Go out and get Inquisition from Burning Witches, whether you download it, whether you buy it. Hopefully you buy it. Hailstorm, Everest, two phenomenal bands. Go see them when you can. Support them, buy their merch, all that good stuff. Tell them Moshmen reviewed them and you came to see them, and it's like, hey, that's all right. But no, two ends of the spectrum, but still
yes,
two solid albums.
yeah,
That's a good.
I'll agree. I'll
That
agree.
was a good week. It was a good week of listening to really good music this week. So
And
there you have
relatively
it.
new albums. So by the time you watch this, they'll
Yeah.
be out for a while. But definitely give them a listen. Check them out.
Yep. I agree.
All right, Mikey, that ought to wrap it up for this week.
Yes, sir. I'm ready
All
to do.
right, this is Skeet.
Smosh and Mikey.
See ya.
Peace out.